GlassHive is a sales, marketing, and contact management platform built specifically for IT providers. From MSPs to VARs, GlassHive was built for you. As an out-of-the-box solution, GlassHive's goal is to make sales and marketing simple, easy, and fun. Instead of juggling multiple tools, you'll get everything in one platform. With GlassHive, you can take a lead from very first touch in a prospecting campaign all the way through sending a proposal without ever leaving the platform. That means your team generates more leads, follows up faster, and clearly sees what's working without guesswork. Think of it as the hive where all of your sales and marketing activity comes together to drive growth. The first screen you see when logging into GlassHive is your design studio. The design studio is your one-stop shop for all of your marketing content creation and execution. What's great about this is you don't have to be a graphic designer or marketing expert to utilize GlassHive. We've actually built an entire library of IT provider specific templates that you guys have access to. It'll be everything from prospecting emails to event flyers and even social media posts, which you'll see right here. We're going to dig in that just a little bit later. What I want to show you guys first is actually the foundation of the design studio as well as some of this content. So one of the great features about GlassHive is what we call magic branding. So to set up magic branding, you'll actually just scroll down. We'll hit setup branding. Within this, what we can do is actually inject your brand's website or your company's website into GlassHive, and it will automatically detect your brand kit based upon your website. So we're going to hit import brand. In this case, I'm going to be Pinkberry. What it's going to do is automatically inject my company logos, colors, fonts, button styles, social media handles, and company details into this account. So instead of me having to manually set that up or guess, our API or magic branding will automatically pick that up for you. So you'll see here, our brand kit has been finalized. We now know all of our logos, colors, fonts, button styles, social media handles, as well as our finalized company details are all nice and set up. So with that, let's return back to the design studio and start checking out some of that content that I mentioned. So the first thing we'll check out right here is our emails. So we have popular categories derived inside of GlassHive as the most popular categories that MSPs use. So you'll see anything in here from managed services, cloud, cybersecurity, IT consulting. We even have some holiday emails here for you. But if you're curious about other emails we have available to you, you can obviously click into one of these categories to view more, or we can scroll down. What this will show you is all of the emails provided to you by either GlassHive or your connected vendors. So we'll check out our vendors here in just a moment, but to show off magic branding, we'll go ahead and hit preview. What this is going to do, and this is a TD Synnex provided template, is automatically provide Pinkberry's company colors, fonts, and logos to their template. So no longer do I have to download an asset, recreate it, do a whole bunch of editing on it. I can have something that is pretty much a go-to market asset in a matter of seconds directly through GlassHive. So within that, what's really neat about this is not only on our content do we have the emails ready for you, we also have your assets. So you'll see right here, link button to TD Synnex Microsoft AI infographic. So of course, we want to go get that guy and link it, as that's the marketing plan in this case. So hey, go back to Studio Home, and we're actually going to head over to our collaterals, because that's essentially where our infographics live. So same idea here is you have your popular categories, managed services, cloud, cybersecurity. You can learn more about all the different templates we have available to you there. But in this case, here's our Microsoft AI infographic. Let's preview it just so you can get a feel for what it looks like. And you'll see, again, it automatically brands for me. So instead of me having to spend hours deriving this type of infographic, building it, I can do that again in a matter of seconds. So once I've built this graphic out, I like it. I can connect it to my campaign and have that automatically sent out for me. But maybe you want to have maybe a different CTA, right? So one of the other CTAs we offer are landing pages. So we have a collection or a bundle of landing pages that are pre-built for all of our partners, from GlassHive again to our affiliated vendors. So what's great about this is, let's use this ConnectWise one right here, email inbox protection. What's great about this is I have the ability to have a professionally built, ready to go landing page at my disposal, again, in a matter of seconds. So no more do I have to go out to a website provider and spend days, if not weeks, having them build me a CTA page. I can instead use GlassHive and have something done for me in a matter of minutes. So you'll see that here, fully built out, ready to go. You can basically publish this and then attach it to any of my emails, and I'm ready to start marketing. Now, let's talk about another feature inside of GlassHive. So we've talked about those emails, landing pages, collaterals. Now we're going to put it together in a more formalized plan. Marketing plans are your all-in-one marketing function. So what this does is it takes all of a series of emails, landing pages, as well as collaterals, tacks them together in a plan that is ready to go. So just like our ConnectWise provided campaign, we're looking at Sentinel Ones now, is we have the ability to have a piece of content in here that is ready to go. You'll see, you know exactly what infographic to link it to, but this email series will be a collection of 5, 6, 7 emails in sequential order, ready to go. So instead of you having to go pick and cherry pick different emails that are going to go together, kind of have somewhat of a process that you might derive, people like Sentinel One, us at GlassHive, or even ConnectWise or other vendors will build these plans for you. So instead of you having to spend hours creating your emails, linking them, they've gone ahead and done that work for you through GlassHive. This is one of the fan favorite features just because there is such a plethora of them. They're pre-provided, pre-built plans for you. They are phenomenal just across the board. So with those marketing plans, one of the other marketing features that's a fan favorite is social media. So social media, what that allows you to do through GlassHive is link your Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn all into GlassHive and allows you to post to all those platforms simultaneously. So you'll see our Included with Studio. That's your normal content available to you as well as your vendor provided content. Then we can even go as far down as to popular categories. So in this case, let's look at cybersecurity. GlassHive will have content for you. Your vendors will have content to you, but it is very simple to preview these emails, use the design, and then be able to make any edits you need to and be able to immediately publish this to, again, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram simultaneously. So no longer do you have to go to each individual platform to post these posts. You can do it all directly through GlassHive simultaneously. Now that we have talked about emails, landing pages, collaterals, marketing plans, and social media, those are a majority of the marketing features. Let's look at more of a hybrid feature. So the next thing we're going to look at are journeys. So journeys are an amazing feature. Journeys are what we call a workflow automation. What these do is allow you to actually take a contact, dump them into one of these guys, and they will automatically flow through a automation, right? Whatever that automation may be, we have tons of them in here for you. I'm going to show you a specific one under my creations. Let's look at this IT support one. Now, the idea behind this journey is it will allow you to go in and automatically basically have a sequence of logic. So let's say we want one email to go out about IT support to a prospect. Within that, we can actually detect whether that prospect opened the email. We can even go a little bit deeper on the conditions within it. So whether they opened it, had any link clicked, or had a specific link clicked, or opened it with no links clicked, right? We can actually define what we want this rule or action to be. So within that, if they open it, then we're going to send them a follow-up email. This follow-up email might be something along the lines of, here's a little bit more information about IT support and how our business can help you, right? From there, you can even have another rule that says, did they actually look at maybe the infographic, the CTA that I provided them in this email? If they did, then let's go ahead and get them set up with a sales rep automatically. So a sales rep will automatically be assigned. A call task will be followed up after that, and we'll even send them another marketing or maybe a follow-up email from the salesperson. Now, that's your best case scenario, right? Is that they hit all of our conditions perfectly. However, it's not always the case. So if they don't hit all of our conditions perfectly every time, of course, you want to continue to follow up with them. The goal of this journey is to convert a marketing activity into a sales activity. So we can see, again, we're going to continue to follow up with them. Are they opening? Are they not? Are we sending them different emails to try and drive some type of conversion here? So through the process of this journey, there's about 10 different steps your prospect could follow to try and, again, turn some type of marketing activity from here into an actual sales engagement right here. So this is just one of the use cases for journeys. Again, they are a workflow automation. So they can be used in a fashion such as this. You can use them from a marketing perspective. You can use them from a sales perspective to where it's just a series of follow-up emails and call tasks, one right after another, which is one of the more useful journeys for salespeople, right? One of those you can actually do is QBRs or CT. One of the fan favorites for journeys is actually QBRs. So the ability to just every quarter have an email sent out to your client base letting them know, hey, it's time for QBR. Another one is going to be new client onboarding. So there's a lot of emails, a lot of training, a lot of tasks that go into that. So we can actually set up a series of emails that go in basically chronological order to how the client onboards into your IT support. So with that, journeys are awesome. They can be used in a multitude of different ways. Pretty much any type of process inside of GlassHive can be automated through these workflows. There is pretty much no limit to what you can do with these when it comes to automating GlassHive. So with that, we've predominantly talked about a majority of the design studio, the basis for it, which are your available templates. We have your auto branding, turning those templates into your own creation, your own branding, the features that coincide with that. Now, the last place we'll talk about with that is your vendors. So I've mentioned a lot how we have different templates available to you from vendors. Now, where you can actually go see that is our vendor marketplace. The vendor marketplace is chock full of different vendors you can become affiliated with. So all of these vendors provide content to their partners through GlassHive. Microsoft will be probably one of the larger ones you'll see in here, or the largest one you'll see in here. You'll be able to see what they offer as an organization to their partners, right? Be able to see a nice little video overview as well as their featured content. So this will be some of the most popular content Microsoft is utilizing for their partners. So within that, we can actually get a little bit more granular. So if we want to see resources they offer, you'll be able to see content and emails they offer on AI solutions, at AVD, Azure Virtual Desktop. We even have some playbooks in here available to you on how to utilize this content more appropriately. If we go a little bit further, we can even see, hey, I want to look at just marketing plans, right? We talked about how marketing plans are your go-to-market feature. So they have a bunch of those available to you from the era of AI to no better time with Microsoft. And so you can come in here and preview all those different emails, all the different assets that are connected to them. Overall, the vendor marketplace is one of the most popular features we have available because it allows partners to directly connect with their vendors through GlassHive and have access to their content and marketing capabilities all in their workspace. This part of the demo, we're going to be looking at our proposal or a document builder. So we're going to head over to our documents tab, overview, and we're actually going to essentially create a document and send it out. So in this case, the document builder can be used for a couple different things. So quick overview, if you wanted to send anything for an e-signature, a proposal, an MSA, a quote, you name it, you can send it out from inside of GlassHive. We even have some features such as CPQ. So you saw a little bit ago how we could integrate with TD SYNNEX as well as Ingram to be able to pull our solutions catalog. Same thing applies here. So we're actually going to go ahead and run through one of these opportunities. So we'll go ahead and create one from scratch. So I can choose to start fresh. I can use an existing template, or I can actually upload an existing MSA or template that I have. In our case, I'm just going to go ahead and use an existing template because I don't want to build from nothing. Existing templates will then allow me to, again, pick. So in this case, let's say we want to use this master service agreement dark. Let's use this one. I like the color of that one. Add it. Now I can name it. So we're going to go testing doc 27. My category on this one can just be for managed security. And we do want to link this document to an opportunity. So what this will do is actually allow me to manipulate the stage of the opportunity that is going to be occurring. So in this case, Richard is our contact for this one. Andrew is our salesperson. This will allow me to automatically add the contacts to the document as recipients, as well as the signing order. So we'll go ahead and continue on. Next thing is going to allow me to manipulate the opportunity stage. So I just spoke on that one a little bit out of turn, but the opportunity stage allows us to actually say, hey, once this opportunity becomes signed, I want to turn this into a cloud win, or maybe I just want to push it to a one stage. And that's going to be completely automated. So I can use a signing order in this case for our purposes. I won't mess with that, and moving on to our next step. So it's going to go ahead and generate my document, my quote, utilizing our template. Within this, we currently have it branded to Starbucks. It's just for testing purposes, right? So you can get an idea. So we're using Starbucks, so all of our content should be green, black, and white per their logos and the colors. You'll see the scope of agreements green, terms and conditions is green, the light green, the white. You'll see it populated throughout, right? Within this is fully customizable. This is a template. So if I wanted to go in here and let's say add a page, we're going to do a new blank page and add some content to it, maybe some extra text boxes, some images. It's a drag and drop builder, so it's very easy to use. So if I wanted to go over and add maybe a video talking about what happens once you accept this master service agreement, or maybe next steps, I can do that. I can add a quote in here. I can even add in some fillable or signable fields to make this a 100% finalized document, which is actually what we'll do here in just a moment. So let's go over here. I'm going to clean this page up so I can put my quote on it. We'll get started there. So we have our quote, so we'll drag and drop it onto our table. We're going to actually, this looks very similar to our opportunity. So we're going to add our solutions. So two things can occur here is we have access to our custom solution stack. We have access to our distributors, but we have also access to the opportunity. So on that opportunity we used, should have linked it, but you would have seen your solutions automatically appear here. But if we use custom, we can go ahead and select all those same items that we were going to basically quote a little bit ago in our opportunity. We can add that pink paired managed service. We can even use our distributors to find all of our individual hardware or even solutions that we're going to sell, right? So if you wanted to use this as essentially your VAR service, you could totally do that. So we'll go ahead and add our solutions to the document. From here, I can manipulate our quantities, our terms. I can even manipulate our bundle, right? And add some videos to it to basically help the prospect understand what is included in this bundle and what does it mean for them. So once I have my quote nice and done, it's ready to go, I want to go ahead and get this ready to sign. So I can come over here and we'll say your company name. So in this case, we'll say GlassHive or Starbucks, right? Because Starbucks is sending this out. So let's fix that, Starbucks. We'll go ahead and make that color white to make sure it shows up. Perfect. And then client name, we'll go ahead and say this is going to be GlassHive. Fix that color. Perfect. And now I can start assigning fields out. So Andrew is the salesperson on this account. So I'm going to go ahead and assign him to this field or all of these fields, right, to make sure that our C-level or salesperson is signing to make this a finalized document. Richard is our recipient. He's going to be actually signing this document. So we'll go ahead and get all these fields assigned to him. Perfect. Within this, just a couple other things I can do to make my life easier while using templates. If I wanted to add some like insert tags, I can do that. These are totally custom to this document or these contacts. So wherever it says your state, your name, whatever, we can actually use custom insert tags on this document to send it. A couple other things I can do as well is I can add my signing order. So we'll see that right there. If I want Richard to be the first signer or the secondary signer, I can do that. So we'll say Richard's gonna be my first signer. If I wanted to mess with some of the elements before I send this, add some more, I can totally do it. I can even add in like a radio button. So if I need to put some more like, do you accept these terms and conditions? I can do so. But we're okay with this, we like it. So we'll go ahead and save and send this guy out. I'll be able to fully customize how this is actually sent. So if I want to do from users, I can do so. I can put a custom sender, change my logos, my document headers, my email titles, even what's said in this email, I can customize all of it to fit my brand color. So in this case, we're going to go back to Starbucks. Perfect. So once it's ready to sign, you send it out and it'll be ready for e-sign, to where it will have electronic signature and will become a binding document. So this is really cool. It allows you to actually be able to quote, be able to see your product solutions. You can tie these to opportunities for full automation of your signed to opportunity closed document. In this next portion of the demo, we'll be going over our CRM. So our CRM is multifaceted. It has anything from a company's view, accounts view, a contacts view, a leads view, a qualified leads view, as well as all of your list views. So we'll start off in the contacts view and kind of work our way around the system. So on the contacts table, so this is one of the main tables that you'll see your contacts on. On this table, you'll see company data, email, first name, contact status. So the contact status is essentially where that prospect is in their sales and marketing journey with you. This is a really cool field. It's fully customizable. You'll also see other fields such as employee count, title, lead score and temperature, journeys, cities, every bit of information you would ever want to know about one of your prospects, active clients, etc., will be shown on these tables. Now, what's great about that is all of these tables are fully customizable in a variety of different ways. So the first one is you can have pinned items. So I can actually pin certain fields that I deem as extremely valuable. So we'll say company and email, and I can actually scroll on this table and it'll keep those in line. That way, whenever I'm looking at, we'll say like the lead score, temperature, I can keep my company and email data right there with it. Now, beyond being able to pin columns, I can show and hide some. So what I can do here is it'll basically let me say like, hey, maybe I'm not super stoked about seeing their birthday, maybe the network they're currently on, minimum qualifications, things like that. I can hide those fields to make my view a little bit more precise and smaller to what I'm specifically looking for. Now, the next thing you can do is sort these fields. So any of these fields are sortable, from email, company, contact status, employee count, you name it. I can sort any of these fields in order to have a better view, right? So if I wanted to say, hey, show me people with a top lead score, which is what I'm currently looking at, you'll see that my lead score is 47 here for contact over at Vayner. Now, next thing I can do is filters. So filters are awesome. Filters allow me to be able to narrow down my views. So whether I'm in a company CRM, a contact, list views, you name it, I can create filters that allow me to only see data that is relevant to me, right? Those filters can actually be multifaceted. You can add up to 10 filters at once to really narrow down your search items. But this will allow you to essentially really narrow down your prospecting list based upon your criteria, right? One of the coolest things about this is the ability to have custom fields. Custom fields allows you to create any type of field you'd like, and then be able to also search, sort, and filter on all of those fields. So whether you need to add in maybe a single line of text, so just a word, multiple lines of text as notes, your date pickers, so this would be when did this person become an SQL maybe, multiple checkboxes and numbers, you name it, it's customizable, right? That's the idea. And all of that data can then be sorted and filtered to give you better granularity over all of your views, right? So talking about views, the great part about this is we actually have that feature inside of GlassHive today. What views does is allows us to actually create a series of, say, filters, sorts, pins, custom fields, you name it, on a view that allow me to really target the exact market I'm looking for or segmentation of contacts that I have designated. So in this case, I have a view called Hot Leads. What this is doing is it's pinning a couple columns for me. I'm showing a couple, hiding a couple, and then I have a filter on here. The filter will actually only show me leads that are deemed as hot leads today. So a hot lead inside of GlassHive is somebody that has engaged at least 5 times in our system through marketing activity, as well as it has to be within the last 30 days. So these leads, in our case, are very warm, very hot MQLs. These are people that ideally we could follow up with to create some type of follow-up sales engagement. So this is really cool. These different views will allow you to segment your contacts. You could even almost create a pipeline view. So if you wanted to use your contact statuses and tend with some score or your temperature, you can actually create almost a pipeline that's showing you every contact status and stage throughout the entire basically duration or lifetime of a contact or sales cycle. So now that we talked about the contact tables a little bit, let's move into a contact record. We're going to use Geo here. So the first thing we'll see when we go into a contact record, we'll start at the upper left and kind of work our way around, is Geo's profile picture. So you can actually upload profile pictures into GlassHive. So allow you to personalize the CRM a little bit more, as well as any of the contacts within it. Now, I can change the title. I can also add LinkedIn, ConnectWise, PSA integration, Autotask, you name it. You'll see that guy pop up right here. You'll see their website as well as our Synchro integration right there. So you also see his lead score and temperature, of course, on his contact record, phone number, email, as well as the position within the company and the company he actually works for. So moving on down, on this page, you'll see the marketing overview page or the contact overview page. This is going to give you a snapshot of what exactly has been going on with this contact for its lifetime in GlassHive. You'll see how many open opportunities you've created with this person, lost, won, as well as your lifetime revenue. You'll see their most interactive campaigns. So what are they engaging with? What have they engaged with recently? Files they're looking at. So this could be ebooks, PDFs, downloadable assets to basically educate them more on why they want to buy services from you. But this allows them or allows you as a user to get a really good overview of what exactly this prospect is interested in from a marketing and sales standpoint. Moving on to our next tab, we're going to see activities. So activities is essentially a granular log that of overview. So overview showing all of our marketing interest. Activities is now going to show us a granular view of marketing interest, sales interest, pretty much everything that's ever happened on this contact since the dawn of time. So you'll see right here on March 10th, Geo did open a campaign. We'll be able to see this was our IT Nation test. We'll see the actual content he opened. We can even see what he clicked on. So you'll be able to see right there on March 10th, he opened this email at 4:44 a.m. Which is about right. Next, you'll see a little bit further down. This was last year. Justice actually sent a follow-up email to Geo. Toby logged a follow-up call. These are all expandable to actually see the contents of what actually happened in that specific activity as well. So if you want to be able to deep dive into contact and really understand what has happened from a marketing standpoint, note standpoint, even meetings that occurred, form submissions he's done, this is all available within the activity section to understand just a little bit more granular scale what exactly has been done on this contact. Now moving along, you can also pin activities. So if there's some activities, in this case, that's exactly what we looked at, the more relevant activities. You can pin those, so something that have a little bit more importance than others. You can also sort and filter activities. So if you want to only look at sales activities, emails, you name it, you can do that through our filter. You can also look at a specific date range that filter is applied to. So if you want to only look at follow-ups that occurred this month that are emails, you can do so. Moving on, you're going to be looking at the details page. The details page is a little bit more of what's going on with this contact from a journey aspect, list it's been involved in, as well as a little bit more on the detail side. So you'll see right here our journey features, which we talked about earlier. This will actually show us what journeys Geo is in. So he's in our onboarding journey. He's looking at our sales journey for AI, our 90-day sales follow-up, and he's completed these couple journeys right here. You'll see any lists he's involved in. So from a marketing standpoint or segmenting standpoint, you'll see his lists. We'll see about the contact, when he was created, if he still subscribes to our marketing content, the assigned sales rep, as well as any additional information. So this could be our custom fields that can be assigned to the contact from the CRM tables or inside the contact record itself. Now going down the right hand side, you'll see contact info. So contact info is going to be about this contact specifically, so you'll be able to identify where they are, where their business is. So if you want to send them a goodie bag, basket, you name it, you can actually put their address in here, their email, a work phone, mobile phone, Teams phone, and home phone if you have it. Then you'll also see their company. So you can see that he works for GlassHive, how many contacts for GlassHive we have in the CRM, as well as their address. So this gives you a little bit more just generalized info on what's going on Geo from the, I'll almost call it the back end, looking at journeys, lists, contact info, date created, and company record. Next tab we'll look at is opportunities. So a little bit earlier, we saw that there were 12 open opportunities for Geo. Let me remove this filter real quick. That way we'll see those. There we go. So this is going to be showing us all the current opportunities that are in progress with Geo. We can see that I just showed you all of them, but you can look at opportunities pending approval, opportunities approved or denied, right? Depending on the margin of revenue, you can actually approve or deny opportunities through GlassHive for them to be quoted on. But looking at opportunities, we'll go through this. This looks pretty similar to any of our other CRM tables. So you can pin fields, you can show and hide them, you can sort them, you can filter them, and even add custom fields and be able to sort and filter on those. But going through opportunities, let me unpin some of these so we can actually work with this a little bit. There we go. So we'll see the company that Geo is working for when that opportunity was created, the opportunity name, see a lot of testing there. You can also see any details associated with it. So this will essentially be your overview page for the opportunity itself. This will allow you to understand what the opportunity name is, the revenue type or the opportunity type, the stage it's in, the description, the approval status, who's assigned to it, how long it's been open, is it in progress, and how many days specifically. It'll tell you the opportunity amount, so whether it's going to be solutions, one-time purchases, or an overview. You'll see how much that opportunity comes out to be, as well as any custom fields we want to see on here. You'll be able to view those as well. So that's essentially exactly what we'll cover right now. When scrolling across the page, you'll see all of the overview information is available on the actual opportunity itself to be able to view. So last one we'll look at is going to be task. So task is going to be your follow-ups on Geo from a sales perspective. So this will actually show you exactly what needs to be done in a sales manner to actually follow up. So in this case, it's going to be a follow-up call with Geo that is assigned to Abigail. So as a salesperson, I can actually create tasks inside of GlassHive that allow me to understand when I need to follow up, how I need to follow up, and what that follow-up is. And so you'll see that through tasks right here. So now that we've seen that, we'll kind of go over a few of the other features. Top right-hand corner. So send email. So this feature right here allows you to integrate Office 365 as well as your G Suite, and it enables you to be able to tie those together and able to send directly from inside of GlassHive as you were sending from Outlook in this case. So I can type up an email. We can say test. I can use my any templates that I've created. On this case, I can use any templates I've created, graphical email templates, marketing collateral. I can even attach links from my own computer, images, emoticons, or my signature block. You can customize this text from font size to font family, bold, italicize, or even inserts. So if I wanted to personalize this, put first name, last name, full name, or email, I could do that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and send this email. It's going to show up on our activities page here in just a second. We'll go over here. We go to a quick refresh, but essentially what this integration just did is I was able to create an email through that integration inside of GlassHive and send it to Geo from Martin in this case, right? But this email will show up inside of Martin's Outlook inbox as it was sent to Geo. What's really cool about this is because it was sent from inside of GlassHive, when Geo actually receives this email and opens it, we will get tracking capabilities on it. So kind of like any of our campaigns, this guy right here, it'll actually show. It'll show that he opened it. If there was a link, it'll show he clicked on it, how many times those opens and clicks occurred. So it's a phenomenal feature. So instead of having to swap back and forth between different CRMs or emailing platforms to do your emailing, you can keep it all isolated to GlassHive. Next, we'll look at adding opportunities. So adding opportunities is very easy. You'll start with your company and primary contact. Those will auto-populate for you. Then you'll name your opportunity type. So in this case, we'll say it's cybersecurity. The stage it's in. These stages are fully customizable, but this is essentially just going to show you where this essentially opportunity is in the pipeline. Is it a little bit further along, or is it basically just getting started and is in progress? Next, you'll add a description to opportunity, your salesperson assigned to it, and now we're going to look at our pricing details. So earlier we saw that we have itemized entry, so we'll go over that here in just a second, but you'll be able to do pretty much what we call simple entry. So this is, I need to just jot down some notes and get the opportunity created. So from here, you'll be able to see per hour, per month, per year, quarterly, semi-annually, or the fixed bid. You're able to define your price, your cost, as well as any discount you're going to be offering. You're then also able to do itemized entry. So itemized entry allows you to use customized solutions that you've either imported, integrations from your distributors, etc., into GlassHive. So it allows me to be able to very granularly utilize pricing from my distributors and even custom solutions that I've created. So here, now I can change my quantities, my terms, even my pricing costs. So if I wanted to add some to the price, I can do that. I can even change this. This is a little bit of a longer description for this Ethernet, so I can actually turn that off in order to make the opportunity look a little bit cleaner. But I can go through here, do a whole bunch of editing. Once I'm finished with that, I can go to activities. This will allow me to log any activities against this opportunity. So once this opportunity is actually created, I can do this same function as well, but it'll allow me to actually see on this opportunity how many emails, how many calls, how many meetings did it actually take to start this opportunity, and how many did it actually take to finish it out. So it'll actually give you an average of, hey, it usually takes 10 emails to get an opportunity started in 6 meetings. Then once that opportunity started, it takes 8 meetings to actually finish it off, or some iteration of that. So this is really cool. Allows you to just go in and actually look at all the activities registered to it. Next, we can do registered deals. Let me fill this in. All right, so activities. With activities, we'll look at this again. I can actually go in and be able to add any of the sales related, basically activities that I've done on GR he's received as far as a sales follow-up perspective is added. So we'll go ahead and just add a couple of these in here so we can see that. We'll go ahead and save it. Now it's going to say all these activities are related to actually opening and finalizing this opportunity. Go. So now we'll look at deal reg. This will allow us to actually register our deals to our vendors. So this is one of the big perks about GlassHive. We work with a whole bunch of different vendors and they love to see ROI. So the ability to go in here and actually show them like, hey, I'm selling Copilot. Let me register that to Microsoft or TD SYNNEX. Or I'm going to sell NDR. Let me go register that to Sophos. I can actually register all of my deals that I'm generating through GlassHive directly to my vendors inside of one platform. Next, we'll look at files. So files is super easy. This is just any additional files you'd like to upload. So if you need to upload Word documents, statement of works, etc., you can upload those here. And then finally, it's just our summary page. It's going to show us an opportunity, high level. What are we selling? How much are we selling it for? How much money are we going to be making? As well as any custom fields that are associated with this opportunity. So now we looked at opportunities. We'll look at tasks. So we just talked about this a little bit ago. So the ability to create follow-up tasks. But I'm able to create any type of follow-up task through GlassHive. So we'll call this testing. Test type is going to be an email to Geo about the opportunity we just created, right? We'll say it's due in 3 days, and my description is going to be test. So that opportunity is super easy to create. We'll see this populate under my task tile right here. We'll also see it populate under the my work. So the my work, this is getting a little sidetracked, is essentially the area of GlassHive as an individual salesperson. I can go to see all of my open tasks, my contacts, even some of my closed tasks that I maybe want to reopen and follow up on. But this gives me the ability to go into one designated area to do all of my follow-ups. So from there, we can do our activity logging. So of course, as I'm going through and completing my task, we want to look at the activities page and be able to log our activities. So we can add custom activity types. So maybe I show up at Geo's door and I'm door knocking. So I can add an activity type called door knocking. Maybe it's our first meeting. Maybe it's did you do your homework? No matter what it is, you can actually log that against the contact profile as well. Right? So once we've logged our activities, maybe we want to automatically follow up with Geo, right? So this is where adding to journeys come in. We've talked about journeys a little bit ago, but journeys allow us to essentially encapsulate the follow-up process automatically. So through some of our journeys that we have available, I'm able to add Geo to them. We saw he's in a couple currently, right? So he's completed these guys. He's currently in the 90-day sales follow-up. So if he already wasn't in this, I would add him to it to automatically maybe assign me tasks to follow up, send out emails to Geo, something that just reminds me I need to stay on top of Geo without me having to manually remind myself or manually create tasks to do so. So journeys are great from a variety of different metrics, whether you're looking to use them from a sales purpose, marketing purpose, a little bit of both, or even maybe just for client management and touching base every month. So with that, that is the end of the CRM portion of GlassHive. So now that we've talked about contact records, let's talk about company records. So right here, you're able to directly, as I mentioned earlier, directly look at what company Geo is affiliated with, and we can directly enter that that profile from the contact screen. So right here, we'll be able to see GlassHive. Same idea here is we'll be able to see all the associated information, their Facebook page, LinkedIn, Twitter, ConnectWise IDs, website, Kaseya, Autotask, Synchro, you name it, you got an integration for it. But this allows you to see all of the basically information pertaining to the company. You'll be able to see an accumulated lead score as well as accumulated temperature. Look at that here in just a second. But same idea here is you'll see an overview page. So this is going to show you as a collective whole of all the contacts and employees that work for GlassHive and engage with our marketing. What are they looking at, right? How many contacts do I have? 6. How many open opportunities? 16. 9 opportunities. I have a lifetime revenue of $213,000 with them. I'll be able to see what campaigns they're engaging with most, what they've engaged with recently, as well as their most engaged files. So this helps me get a better idea across the board of what exactly these prospects are engaging as individuals as well as a collective. So from this page, I can do a couple different things. I can email all the contacts that exist in this company one bulk email. So they will all get one individualized email or personalized templated email, we'll say. Same idea here is I have text templates. I can do graphical email templates. I can use marketing collateral, my signature. I can customize the look and feel of that email. I can even schedule that email to go out at a different date and time if I want to make it a little bit more precise about when I send it. From there, I can add contacts to this record. So all I need is a contact's email to be able to create a record. Then I can add opportunities. So we just took a look at this, but this allows us to actually go to the company's page to add the opportunity. So if I wanted to do the same thing, the opportunity we just opened with Geo, I could do so right here and be able to view his contact. Next thing is adding notes. So notes are a little bit different. So on a contact profile, you can create an activity that is a note. In this case, this would actually be a note for the company. We'll look at that here in just a second. But it could be anything from GlassHive is moving their headquarters to, hey, they're interested in a new IT provider in the next 6 months. It is something that is relevant to you or something of interest, something of note that would be worth writing down. Then we'll have files. So same thing we saw in that opportunity. If I have any relevant files to GlassHive, SOWs, pieces of content that I think are interesting or I need to be able to easily access for this record, I can actually add it directly to the profile record right here. So moving right along, we'll see activities page. So again, very similar to a contact, I have the ability to pin records that I deem of higher importance. So this campaign open, these follow-ups, this meeting, as well as this form fill that took place. I can actually continue to scroll down and you'll see different people actually opening, engaging. These are going to be different employees within GlassHive that are opening, engaging with our content. So see Geo open this email, Martin sent a follow-up. You'll see that it's related to the opportunity we just created right there. You'll also be able to see that Sterling Silver is opening our emails. Martin's sending more follow-ups. Geo's opening, clicking on different campaigns. And you'll see Ty even is following up. But this is going to be the collective of all of the employees and all of their activities showing. Of course, you can filter by activity types. We can filter by the contact. We can even filter by the date range that we're looking for those activities to occur on. So if I want to only look for activities that Ty has completed, I can filter it down to only look at those specific activities. So next thing we'll look at is details. So details is great. This is same thing on a contact record, just a little bit more in depth about the company. So we can have a description, the employee count, number of devices, what vertical they're in, the assigned user. So the assigned user is essentially what salesperson or we'll say account executive is working on this account. So what's really neat about GlassHive is once an account sells, we can actually have multiple assigned people to an account, so a salesperson, an account manager, maybe even a client success manager. So we can actually have multiple people assigned to an account that allow us to have different capabilities over what they're doing on that account. So there is a way to actually track who's doing what on what different accounts. From there, we're looking at additional information. So date created, decision makers, IT. So this is actually going to be custom fields. So we have custom fields for company tables and company records. So you'll actually be able to see those right here. Moving along, you'll see company information. So company website, email, phone number, their support phone, sales phone, accounting, fax, as well as a billing address. You can even add multiple locations. So if they are a franchise and they need to have multiple locations across the states, you can actually add multiple locations and even be able to select one as their headquarters. This is really nice, especially when you're dealing with businesses that are franchises or large and nationalized companies. So next thing we'll look at is the contacts page. So the contacts page is going to look very similar to the contact CRM. It's essentially the same thing, and where I can be able to send emails to these contacts, go into their contact profiles, manipulate their contact status, look at who my hottest leads for that company are. I can do all of it right from this page. This is really nice from being able to see who exactly maybe my decision maker is from my support, our software engineers, and who I need to contact. So instead of me reaching out to, we'll say, Abigail, who I don't really know her title, I could be going over and really trying to get in touch with Gio, who we know that is the CEO. Next, we'll see opportunities. So opportunities is going to be a collection of all the opportunities open on any contact that exists inside of GlassHive as the company. So we'll be able to go and see what's won, what's speaker referral, same idea on a contact record. I'm going to keep saying that. We want to make everything really simple and really similar. That way it's a very easy learning curve. But they'll show you opportunities pending approval, approved opportunities, denied. I can pin fields, show and hide them, sort them, filter them, or even add custom fields if I need to. Then I can scroll along here and kind of get a better idea of what any of these opportunities are. Next, we'll look at files. We talked about that just a second ago with adding files, but in this case, you'll see that we actually have one here. It's our master service agreement. So if I actually send out a proposal, or if I wanted to look back on historical proposal data, I could do so by looking at our master services agreement and understanding what they're looking for, how they want it, what exactly is relevant to this company. And finally, the cool feature, everybody loves this, is the solutions roadmap. So the solutions roadmap will actually show you what solutions you sold a business and what you have the potential to sell them. So what's really neat about this is you can actually upload, as I mentioned before, your solution stack into GlassHive. You can create individual solutions, but this is actually showing you per an MRR solution base what you're actually making on this company. So in this case, I'm selling the GlassHive Managed Essentials. I'm actually selling them a GlassHive license as well as a per device something. Now, as I open and close opportunities that have solutions in them, this will automatically update. So it's currently showing me that I had the potential to make $17,000 a month on this account, but I'm only capturing $2,000, which is about 13% of the potential MRR. Now, I have about $14,000 more MRR I can get to, and that $14,000 is through these unsold solutions right here. So as an account manager, I can go through here and kind of comb and see like, hey, they're looking at Managed Essentials. We probably want to bump them up to Managed Plus even, or Managed Advantage, right? Sell them the higher package. Maybe we want to sell them some UCAS. Maybe we want to sell them some Azure licensing, maybe a Copilot license. And as you sell these, you can actually drag them over into this column, and this will update, right, whenever we close an opportunity as well. And you'll start to see my MRR slowly creep up. But as an account manager, it's really nice to be able to have essentially this line item of all the different solutions I offer, what they are, how I'm working with them, and what I have the potential to actually sell on this board. So this is really nice, even from a marketing aspect, is I can take a collection of these using a report, and we'll look at that. What clients or what prospects don't have a certain solution I want to sell them, be able to pull that report and be able to target market them to actually sell that solution. So this is really cool, especially from understanding how you can grow your existing accounts inside of GlassHive. One of the really cool things about GlassHive is actually the ability to directly follow up or email prospects or clients directly through our platform. So with this little guy right here, you'll see send email. So we can actually click on this, and what this does is actually directly integrates with Office 365 as well as G Suite. So what that means is that I can actually integrate, in this case, Martin, his email address into, we'll say even his email address directly into GlassHive, and be able to send emails out as him. And in this case, it's me, but I'll be able to put a subject line in here. So we'll use tasks, put us actually some content in this email testing for demo. Perfect. And then from here, I can actually do a couple different things. I can change my actual font. I can change the font sizing, the alignment, bold, italicize. I can color some of it. I can insert the link. I can insert a personalization. I can even highlight some of my text. Beyond that, I can utilize text templates that I may have created, graphical email templates. So these are going to be rich media. Marketing collateral, so any infographics, sales initiatives I'm going to be using, attachments, images, emoticons, or even a signature block to make sure this email is as personalized as possible. But we'll go ahead and send this email out so I can give you a visual representation of what that looks like. Go ahead and reload our page, and then we'll see that the email to Jenna was just sent. So there we go. What's really cool about this is this will actually flow through Martin's Office 365 tenant. It'll actually show up in his sent folder in Outlook. So it will appear as though Outlook sent it because we are integrated with it. What's really neat about this beyond that, though, is if Gina responds, we'll see that response appear in line. Then if I respond back to that email a couple hours later, we'll say do it through Outlook instead of through GlassHive. That email response will then show up. So I'll start essentially building this library of responses and interactions between myself and Jenna through this activities page right here. What's a little bit even cooler about that is, let's say I want to just continue that conversation with Outlook, or I need to respond to something across any contact through GlassHive and do it directly through Outlook. It will actually keep track of all responses as well as all replies from prospects or customers. So again, you'll start to build this database of responses and emails. So through that, let's assume that Jenna maybe responds to me or maybe does not, and I need to follow up with her, right? So we'll say I add a task, and so we'll just do follow up. My task type will be a call. I want to say it's going to be due tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll follow up again, testing, and we'll add that task. So the task has now just been assigned to me. This will then go and assign a task to me to where I can view it right here under tasks. It'll also show up in my email as well as in the my work tab under all my tasks for me to be able to complete later on. So let's assume I call. I don't get anybody, but I need to log my call. So I can go over here to add a log activity. I can log my individual call. I might have even gone door knocking. So I can actually add in a custom activity. We'll call it first meeting in this case. And I can log that against the contact profile as well. So we'll call it door knocking, add activity. And we'll see that next activity appear in line. From there, let's say I don't even get a response at my door knocking, so I just want to add Jenna to a drip campaign to continue to follow through our drip series through journeys. So I'll be able to add her directly to this to where it's going to assign me some tasks, some emails, maybe even a LinkedIn assignment to actually connect with her on LinkedIn to continue this follow-up sequence. So we have a bunch of different ways to follow up with prospects. Make sure you're going to continue to follow prospects through tasks or journeys. Now let's say Jenna does respond and I do finally get her to move forward. We'll say I'm going to add my activities, add an opportunity now. So we'll go ahead and start creating my opportunity I'll be able to name it. So we're just going to put testing again. My opportunity type will be cloud or cybersecurity. My stage will say I have a verbal commitment. She's interested. Now my description is going to be testing. My approval status. So this is really cool. So as a sales manager, you can actually set a minimum margin for all of your opportunities to be able to move into a 1 status. So once I create this opportunity, the sales manager will get notified that he needs to approve it or she needs to approve it before we can move into the next stages. From there, I can do my opportunity amounts. So I have my simple entry. So this is going to be kind of your quick and efficient way. So you'll be able to put your fixed bid, your per hour, per month, per year, and then be able to put your price, cost, as well as any discount, whether you want to do a dollar discount or a percent. You can also do itemized entry. So itemized entry is actually essentially be any individual solutions or line items you sell to your partners today. So whether we're doing Managed Essentials, Managed Plus, or Managed Advantage, or maybe a bundle of all of those, you can directly add those into the opportunity. From there, we even have our distributor integration. So maybe I want to add in a server rack or a super server right here, right? So I'll grab this guy. I can actually see that it's not in stock currently. So maybe we want to find something that is in stock. So we'll put a filter on that's only going to show me items that are in stock. We'll use this guy right here. Here's a server. It's going to MSRP for about 10 grand. So I can select my quantity here in a second. But first, I want to look at my attributes, make sure this is something that's compatible. My distributor, it looks like I can only get this through Synix currently. So I'll go ahead and select my quantity. I'll actually probably put in a custom price because I want to make a little bit of margin on this, right? So we'll say I sell for $12,000. So I'm going to make about $1,000, give or take. So my solutions total is currently at $23,000. We're going to add those solutions to my opportunity, and now I can actually modify this. So if I'm selling a 3-year contract, I'm going to change my terms to 36 months on all of these. Perfect. And then let's assume my bundle right here would be the same thing. So I would manipulate my price, my quantity, my term. At this point, I'm not going to. Same idea. But we'll go ahead and save our opportunity. And now the opportunity will show up under the opportunities tab right here to where you can view any opportunities that are ongoing with this specific client. You can look at any tasks. So again, if I want to follow up on that, add another task, add them to a journey, send me emails, I can do that all directly from inside of the contacts profile. Next thing we're going to look at in this demo is actually going to be our opportunities pipeline. So we're going to go to the sales tab, opportunities, and the first thing we're going to see is our dashboard. So our dashboard is going to be a complete overview of all the revenue in our account currently, opportunities, won, lost, in progress, all that good stuff right off the bat. So first number you see is your possible monthly revenue. So this is going to take into account all the opportunities currently in your forecast and say if we want it all, our possible monthly revenue gain would be about $500,000. Our unweighted in progress, this is going to be the total amount of revenue in our pipeline. Then we have won. So this is how much revenue we've won in the last 90 days. From there, you'll see the total number of opportunities as a number in your pipeline. How many of those have been progress, won, and lost? All, again, in the last 90 days. From there, you'll see opportunity revenue forecast. So inside of GlassHive, you can actually create your own custom stages for these opportunities to flow through as they progress in your pipeline. So you're able to see your weighted totals. I have 162 opportunities in total, so that lines up right there. It's going to be about $3.3 million of weighted total. So meaning that if I win 10%, my 25%, my 50s, my 75s, we'll cover this here in a second. This is how much revenue I have in my pipeline, right? So what's really neat about this, again, you can create custom stages. So my in progress stage currently has 41 opportunities in it, but 10% close rate. I've got about $110,000 in that stage. Then I have verbal commitment, 25% close rate, $150,000 in there, 26 opportunities. Then let's go over here to proposal sent. So proposal sent, I've got about $2.5 million, totaling 62 opportunities in my pipeline. So through there, we can even move a little bit further down. We have your average time spent each stage. So this is going to give you a really nice overview of how long it's actually taking, even on a month-by-month basis and total, how long it's taking for your opportunities to move from each stage. So your general sales cycle is going to be somewhere between 30 and 60 days. So you want to see something around like 5 to 7, maybe even 8 days per stage, moving from in progress to a verbal commitment to, in this case, maybe, speaking of referral, proposal sent, and then we have our multiple types of one. Right? So cloud wins, just one in general, etc. So this will actually help you kind of track down, like at our beginning stages, we're taking about 94 days on average to move it from in progress to verbal commitment, 75 days to move it from verbal commitment to a maybe. A maybe is only taking 8 days, so that's on track, but then you'll see it goes right back up to 90. So that tracks. It's a test account. We've got we don't touch this data too very often, but this will give you a really good idea of how long and how often these opportunities are staying these stages and how long it's taking them to actually move. So on the next page, we're going to see is we're going to look at all opportunities. So this guy is really cool for getting really granular with those opportunities on your dashboard. So you can sort and filter just like our CRM any which way you would like. So if you want to go and manipulate what salesperson is opening these opportunities, the primary contact, the revenue amounts, how long it's been open, you can even custom filter by custom fields. You can do all of the above. We even have quick filters or custom filters, even advanced ones, to where you can go really in depth. So let's just look at any opportunities I currently have in the pipeline. Probably got a couple in here at least, right? But I'll be able to see all opportunities, any of those. Then I can sort by what's pending, what's approved, and what's been denied. So if you remember, we talked about that on the opportunities table. I can have to essentially wait for my sales manager to make sure my opportunities are approved or pending approval before I can essentially move along in the sales process. But here you can see all the opportunities assigned to myself. If maybe it's a little bit too much information, I can show and hide fields. I can even pin some fields. So if I really only care about the total amount and my gross margin of my opportunities, I can do so and only pin those columns, which we'll see right here. So this guy, basically this view is really good for getting really granular, being able to slice and dice your data to understand who's doing what, how they're doing it, etc. Now let's move on to the next page, sales pipeline. So sales pipeline is really cool because this is going to be a combination between your dashboard and your all opportunities, showing you every opportunity in each stage of your pipeline, the total amount of revenue contained in that pipeline, as well as your percentage win of all that revenue. So we have 31 opportunities in progress. We have 22 in verbal commitment. That guy's taking a second to load. There we go. We have 3 in a maybe. 25 in speaking referral, proposal send is about 60, but this gives me again a really good idea of what's in my pipeline, what's moving, what's not, and how much revenue is in each stage of the pipeline. From here again, I can filter. So if I only want to look at opportunities by, we'll say cloud, I can do so. I can even say, hey, let's look at cloud solutions by, in this case, we'll use Andrew. Hopefully we have one. Perfect, we do. So this will let me get really granular with what reps are doing what inside of my account to make sure I'm staying on top of essentially their KPIs and being able to visualize our pipeline.